Good evening. I'm David Kramer at the National Weather Service, Alaska statewide weather. Starting off, we want to talk a little bit about the warnings and advisories that we have out for the state. We have two flood warnings out in the Kenai Peninsula. One along the Snow River that does include Primrose Campground and Kenai Lake, and then the other one on the Kenai River for Cooper Landing through Ski-Lac Lake. Those are in effect through Monday. We also have in the eastern portions of the Alaska Range a wind advisory out, with winds up to as high as 55 miles per hour out until Sunday morning, starting 10 p.m. this evening. And then we have one up by the Bettles area, wind advisory again, winds up to as high as 40 miles per hour. That could be in effect until Sunday morning as well, starting at 10 p.m. Otherwise, we have a front moving through the Bering Sea, starting to bring rain throughout the Bering and Aleutian Islands, and another front moving up into the Gulf of Alaska, bringing widespread rain to the North Gulf Coast and southeast Alaska. It's also extending up into south central and the interior. Up along the Arctic coastline, we have some areas of fog, and it's going to continue into tonight as well. Meanwhile, down south tonight, we have our low that was moving into the Gulf now over the Kenai Peninsula area, bringing more rain for south central Alaska and southeast Alaska, as well as places up into the interior. Some of the higher elevations in the mountains could see some areas of snow as well. Out over the Bering Sea, our low will have dropped down by the Pribilof Islands, continuing to bring rain throughout the Bering Sea and Aleutian Islands, as well as the Alaska Peninsula. Not quite making it to southwest Alaska tonight, but as we move into Saturday, rain will spread throughout the west coast of Alaska, through the Alaska Peninsula and eastern Aleutian Islands. Our old low that was out over the Gulf will have pushed up into the interior, bringing rain throughout much of the central eastern interior, west coast, and down through south central Alaska, as well as up into the Brooks Range. Up along the Arctic coast, however, not a lot of new precipitation, but there will still be some areas of fog. Out over the Panhandle area, we are still going to see some areas of rain from some of the rain coming in from the southerly direction. And then out over the Bering, our low will have dropped south of the Alaska Peninsula, but there will still be rain with the northerly wind component throughout much of the central and eastern Aleutians. On Sunday, weaker flow pattern here with multiple weak lows around the area. This will result in some lighter precipitation, but fairly widespread throughout the Bering Sea and the west coast of the state. Also up north through the Brooks Range and along the Arctic coastline, we do expect to see some areas of rain. And along the Arctic coast could mix with fog as well. Down in south central Alaska, we do expect to see quite a bit of rain. Once again, at the higher elevations in the mountains, we could see some areas mixing with snow. Down in southeast Alaska, we do expect to see more rainfall here as we have multiple lows moving around the Gulf of Alaska. With Alaska statewide weather, I'm David Kramer.